All right, what's going on, guys? It's Joe with Hendo Daily, and I am finally back from a week on the road and excited to start making some content with some of these new lights that came in on my care package. We're going to look at three of the bigger boys today and go over a little bit of specs, and then we're going to take them out outside to the backyard and see what these things can really do. So first up, we've got the Wuben X1 Pro. This is one that I had ordered, and quick specs on this. You've got a max output turbo of 12,300 lumens, an absolute beast for 1 minute at least, and then it'll drop down to 5,000 lumens for a minute, and then 3,000 lumens for 1.7 hours. And then you've got a high mode of 3,000, medium 1,000, low 400, Eco 20, and then strobe comes out at 3,000 as well. It's got a 410 meter throw. Basically, this thing is just a tank. And if you really need 12,000 lumens for a minute, this thing's got you. So you've got your, let's see if I can get this focused here. You've got your spot mode, your floodlight, and then the combination of both, which when double pressed in this mode is when it turns on the 12,300 lumens. So we're going to take that outside and check it out. And then next up, we've got the Olight Seeker 4 Pro. This one I am really a big fan of. I like the little sheath that it comes with, that it's got the base charging port in there as well. But outside of the fact that this thing is just, I mean, hefty, real hefty. This is a great light. I really love the finish on this. It is the silver plated bronze. I think it looks really sick, and it's a great looking light. So what we've got for this one though is turbo mode of 4,600 lumens. Even that is super bright. Not even comparing it to almost 3 times that with the X1 Pro, but 4,600 lumens, and that'll run for about 2.5 minutes. Then you've got a high mode of 1,200 lumens for a little over 2 hours. Medium is 300 lumens at 11 hours. Low of 50 lumens for 60 hours. And then the moonlight mode, which is 5 lumens, that'll run about 15 days, supposedly. So that's what we've got for the Seeker 4 Pro. We're going to take that one up as well and see what that can do in the backyard. And then, last but not least, one of my favorites, honestly, just because of the design and the color. I think it's something cool and something very different compared to the rest of my flashlight collection. We've got the Olight Warrior Mini 3. So, and I actually used that clip attachment that came in the package to put the clip on reverse, so it was spot down instead of facing up in the pocket. I like the tail switch on this thing that just instantly puts it into that turbo mode, and then you've got the main button up here to cycle through all your other brightness levels. But that's one of my favorite features about that. So here we've got a turbo mode of 1750 for about, what is that, 2 minutes. Then you've got a high mode of 500 lumens. Medium is 120. Low mode of 15 lumens, and moonlight is half a lumen, and supposedly that'll run 100 days if you only use the moonlight mode. Seems kind of crazy, but I guess, you know, half a lumen really isn't taking too much. So that's the 3 flashlights we're looking at right now. So let's take them out in the backyard, see what they can do, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, guys, now that we're out here, I'd say my backyard from fence post to fence post is probably about maybe 30 yards. So we'll start out with the Warrior Mini 3. Let's see. All right, so here's your low mode. You can almost, not really, never mind. You cannot really see the fence back there, but obviously closer up. Good for right around, you know, close distances. Then we'll bump it up to that medium mode. Now you can see the fence a little bit better. And then bump it up to that high mode, and it really lights up the backyard. So now we'll check out the turbo mode real quick. Oh yeah, that thing just lights up the entire backyard. So turbo mode, however long that will run, I forget what the specs say, will definitely do you some good brightness out here. So now let's check out let's go to the Seeker 4 Pro. So we'll start this out. One of the worst things about testing out a flashlight at night is all the bugs hit you up. All right, so let's turn this down. So that's the half a lumen moonlight mode. Not bad for, you know, whatever you need, but if I'm only needing half a lumen, I'm just going to carry an i3T or something small like that. So then we'll just kind of toggle up a little bit at a time, because it's got that rotating bezel on it, and you can see as it's slowly getting to the brightest modes, this thing definitely lights up the whole backyard. There we go. My neighbors are probably like, what the hell is happening? So I believe that is the high mode, and there's your turbo mode. It looks like daytime out here now, and this thing is absolutely awesome. I could definitely see mounting this up in your truck or any vehicle, just to have as your go-to flashlight for when you're traveling, camping, anything like that. So that's what we've got for the Seeker 4 Pro. But now let's get to the big guy and hopefully not make the neighbors too mad. And we will get through to the Wuben X1 Pro. So this is the spotlight mode. I mean, instantly you can see all the way across the yard, and we'll just kind of cycle through each brightness. 1, 2, 3. That is the highest brightness on the spotlight mode, which actually works really well. I mean, you can see that center beam there. Then we'll swap over to the floodlight, and we'll kind of cycle through those. That's pretty dim for that low mode. Then you've got medium right here. You've got your high mode, and then your super bright turbo. And then when you flip that over to the middle, then you get the combination. So you still get that whole floodlight plus that spot in the middle. This thing will really just light up whatever you need. So we'll go ahead, give that a double tap on the power switch and get this 12,000 lumens going. Holy crap. Yeah, this thing instantly just lighting up my backyard and my neighbor's backyard. Double click again to take it down to the high mode. And if you can kind of hear that fan kicked on a little bit, I mean, this thing is just insane how bright. I can already feel how hot it's getting, so I can imagine how hot it gets without the fan. But there you have it for the Wuben X1 Pro on the 12,300 lumens. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. We'll head back downstairs to the workbench until kind of do a review before I burn my hand on this thing. All right, guys, so that definitely puts it into some perspective, just seeing that outside really working. For a good everyday carry, this Warrior Mini 3 would be great and cover all your bases that you need. But these I would definitely consider camping, emergency lights, anything where you're really going to need to light it up. And I think I said it before looking at the X1 Pro, nobody needs 12,300 lumens. Like that's just for fun. That's just to show how much you can pack into one light. And not that this thing is little by any means, and it's pretty hefty, but I think that's just kind of showing off. That's just showing how bright you can get a light in as small of a package as possible. But this Olight Seeker 4 Pro, this one I really think it's hard to pick a favorite, honestly, because they all have their use and purposes in different situations. But this Seeker 4 Pro really is just such a sweet light, and I really like one, that it shows you the battery level on there, and then it also shows you the brightness it'll be at when you turn it on, so you can swivel that all the way down to low or bring it all the way up to high. So that way when you go to turn it on, you know right where it's going to be at. Just kind of a cool extra feature that they put on there. I always love seeing a good battery limit, you know, so you know where your battery level's at. But I really think the Seeker 4 Pro is, it might be up there. But like I said, it's really hard to choose because there's so many different uses and use case scenarios that any one of these three lights would be great. This is something that, like I said, I would certainly throw in my vehicle, whether it's mounted up or just in the center console. This is something that I'm bringing camping with me because if I really, really just want to show off and see what 12,300 lumens looks like in the middle of a dark forest, I'm going to take this with me. But I also like that it has not just to show off the extreme brightness, but I like that it's got the spot and the flood in it, and that you can combine the two as well, because that really will just light up every area of what you're trying to look at. And then, like I said, the EDC style, this would definitely be the closest to the EDC style light out of the three for sure. Can't see myself carrying either one of these two every single day, at least for my EDC needs, but these are definitely going to be useful tools. So that's it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed checking out these lights with me. I've really enjoyed having these lights for the last week or so, and that's all I've got for tonight. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.